Here in Waco, a hidden gem on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street.
What a night it was for Baylor basketball, Baylor men's basketball with Davion Mitchell, who will join us here momentarily. Jared Butler being drafted, MaCio, Teague, and Mark Vital also signed. They'll be playing this summer. And Scott Drew, who is the orchestrator of the Baylor men's basketball program, but of course everybody a part of Joy, joins us. What was that like for you last night, Coach?
It was a great night for Baylor basketball, and as you said, all four now have a chance this summer to make their dreams a reality playing in the NBA. So really excited about all their opportunities. Mark with Portland, MaCio and Jared with Utah, and obviously Davion with Sacramento.
Coach, what is it about the Utah Jazz and Baylor basketball? There just seems to be such a great team there, and now you're going to have two more Bears heading over to that roster.
Well, I think we both have the same formula for success. I mean, both communities value high character. Both organizations value character, work ethic, being a great teammate. And you look at it, they had the best record in the NBA. We won the championship this year, one of the best records in college basketball, the best in Power 5 in the last 2 years. So both of us have the same recipe for success, and they value what we value. And obviously, Dennis and Jake have the intel on that, so they're dialed in.
Scott, Jared he dropped. I thought most everyone had him as a first-round pick, and I saw your interview on ESPN with the guys that were on the set. Do you feel like in the end, did you do any kind of due diligence, or was it still because of the health issue, even though the NBA cleared him?
Yeah, so good question. How it works is, the NBA, they cleared them, and it was a 3-0 vote. But still, every NBA team has their own docs, and their own team doctors make their own decisions. And any of us that know, if you've ever had any injury at all, if you go to 12 different doctors, you're probably going to get 6 different answers. You know, so it really that comes into play in decision making. But it really does more in that first contract than in the draft. And now the blessing is Jared's at Utah, and if he does well, he's in the NBA. And if he does well, he'll get to that second contract even quicker. And we all know it had nothing to do with his basketball ability and what he's been able to do. But God always has a perfect plan, and it's not the number you're drafted at. Although we always want to be higher, thinking that's better. The key is to be in a situation where you get an opportunity to play for an organization that believes in you, and play with guys that you enjoy. And I mean, he gets all that in Utah. Great teammates, great organization, and hopefully he'll have an opportunity to prove himself.
Coach, what's it like to look back on maybe the first time you met Davion Mitchell, and then to be there with him last night, a top 10 selection, going through all the media rows and everything? I mean, just his journey and what he meant to Baylor basketball. I mean, you kind of touched on just how special and fun it is, but what a ride for that young man, huh?
I can tell you that he's probably done more interviews in the last 12 hours than except for the NCAA tournament in the bubble. But all those were usually one for everybody. The car wash, they really keep you busy and moving. And he's done a great job spreading our Joy culture, and somebody that has put in all the work. And obviously, we've all cheered for him and seen how he's progressed during his time at Baylor. But he's progressed as much off the court as on the court, as far as he came in a high character individual, but as he became better and better with the media and the community, I mean, Sacramento's getting someone that they can really embrace.
Scott, how much have you paid attention to what's going on right now in the college football landscape and how it could affect Baylor?
Well, actually, I've been so busy with recruiting and busy with the draft, and people ask, well, what are you doing in the draft? I mean, like, literally, you're talking to teams, and even on draft night, some are asking, what are you hearing? What are you thinking? So it's a continual process until your guys get drafted. As far as the Big 12 goes, basketball, it's been the best in the country the last 7-8 years. And I know that Mac and President Livingstone are the best, to have full faith and confidence in them that they'll put Baylor and the Big 12 in the best situation possible. And I'll leave it at that. The good thing is, when you got really good people and competent people, you don't have to worry about doing their job and your job.
Yeah, no, and you're right. And you let some others, that's what they're getting paid for too. You go get the players and the coaches and you go win basketball games, and you hope that they're the ones that keep everything else going. Man, do you get a break? Are you on? You go straight
got
on the road?
players on campus, like former players are back on campus.
I saw where you had Isaiah Austin, I think, or whoever is always, which says a lot about your program. We've talked to so many of them, but is there a chance you just get out yourself for 2 to 3, 4 days? Is that ever happened for you?
Well, I think you have to go 2 or 3, not 4 or more. It's people always want to know what you do in coaching, and I always say, how many kids do you have? And 2, 3, and if they have 4, and like we had 13, and then when you had managers walk on, that's 25. You got 25 teenagers. That will keep you busy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's not. And it used to be in college. People came when fall and spring semester was over. They were gone. And nowadays, I mean, you're around. Even when these summer sessions end, we have players that stay year round. So you're basically always on call and always here to facilitate and help. And like the summer league, we'll have 7 players playing in the summer league. So we'll go out there and support them. And you got the 4 this year just graduated. You have Ish and Freddie Gillespie with Toronto, and you have Joe Rual at your wheel with the Suns. So it'll be a busy summer league. If you like watching basketball, you'll be able to watch those Baylor Bears coming up in the summer league.
Very cool. Didn't know about all those guys just yet, so that's awesome to hear, and definitely will follow up on that. Coach, as you go out recruiting and whatnot now, is there a difference when you got national champs on your gear that's immediately noticeable?
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, people answer the phone more and they're automatically interested. So that is, and it isn't just from the national championship. The last 2 years to be the winningest Power 5 program, that's a lot of wins, a lot of exposure. And so the good thing is recruiting is easier, but at the same time, it becomes even more challenging from the standpoint. Now you have more people to choose from, and you got to make sure you bring in those that are best for your program and the people that fit to what's made you successful.
Scott, we appreciate it. I know it's been a long week, but it's been a great week. What a night to see all 4 have their chance now to be a part of the NBA. In fact, Davion, we think, is going to join us either in the next segment or here before we go off at 6 o'clock. Love those guys. Always enjoy having a chance to cover them because they're, as you know, great basketball players, but they're great people as well.
And I think
well, the good thing is Smoak's getting ready for football. I can tell right there.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was just going to say I was very happy for Jared and Davion, and I know Jared had to wait a while, but I think I was as equally happy. I don't know about you guys for MaCio and Mark after the fact to also get those calls as well. Really cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Basketball. That's Scott Drew. And you hung up because he's probably talking to somebody about from a newspaper, outlet, radio station, TV station, about the 4 young men that are now a part of the NBA. Davion Mitchell, Jared Butler, MaCio, Teague, and Mark Vidal. Good for them as well to have the opportunity to see if they can earn themselves a spot on a roster. When you're Davion Mitchell, you're a lottery pick. Jared Butler, 40th overall pick. There's investment into you as well. All right, when we come back now, we got to cut. Ross Dellinger's going to join us, SI.com. He has been heavily connected as well into this college football landscape, the change, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. He'll join us at 5, and then Davion Mitchell here will join us momentarily either in the next segment or a little bit after Ross. And this is SicEm365 Radio.